Hi, my name is Shanoa Davis. These are my audience members, my mother, my little sister Melina, and my other little sister Samaya. Today we're going to talk about student loans and student debt, which are huge problems in today's society and economy. I remember the very first college tour I went on to Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts, where I discovered the insurmountable tuition of over $40,000 per year, which I definitely was not going to be able to afford without any sort of scholarship. It was rather surprising to find that college cost that much, even though you had always heard that college was very expensive. That was my first rude awakening into the world of student loans and student debt. In order to kind of lessen the financial burden of many students, they have to take on student loans or they have to take on debt from private lenders. And a lot of times, students don't receive as much in scholarships as you would hope. A lot of private institutions don't offer these scholarships to all students, rather picking out merit-based, athletic-based, etc. And so in order to lessen the financial burden of going to college, more public and private scholarships need to be readily available to all students to lessen the financial burden of attending college. Student loans have become an incredible burden to nearly all students because of the overwhelming cost of attending college. According to Forbes, they had an article called Student Loan Debt Statistics in 2018, a $1.5 trillion crisis. Over 44 million current or prior students carry student loan debt in America, totaling over, as it said in the article, $1.5 trillion in debt, which is greater than auto or credit card debt in the U.S., only second to mortgage debt. Student loan debt has become a huge burden not only to our students, but also our government and private agencies as a whole. There is a high delinquency rate and a low forgiveness rate, which does affect a great number of Americans and their taxes and finances. While this is making incredible amounts of money through interest for private lenders, as a whole, it is hurting our current and prior students and will continue to get worse into the future. According to Business Insider, they wrote an article that stated college costs are expected to inflate 5% per year, which would make an average college tuition nowadays of about $40,000, almost $90,000 by 2030. While we can't completely fix this problem in a matter of years, we can definitely lessen the financial burden placed on students. The best way to lessen the financial burden of students, other than to lower the cost of tuition and supplies, of course, is to provide scholarships to these students. Currently, there are limited scholarships available for merit, sports, etc., and all other financial aid must go through the government through the FAFSA application. However, if universities offered more school-specific scholarships, much like they do in graduate programs, nearly 100% of students receive some sort of institutional aid for postgraduate studies. If they offered these same kind of scholarships for undergraduate students, it would allow a greater variety of students to attend college and not emerge with thousands of dollars in student loans. As stated by Scholarship America, a college education is increasingly crucial. Scholarships are an increasingly important way to pay for that education. They continue on and state that in 2013, for the first time, grants and scholarships became the single biggest way students paid their tuition and fees. According to Sallie Mae's How America Pays for College study, revealed that 30% of the average bill is being covered by grants and scholarships, with parental borrowing taking care of 28%. Some believe that offering scholarships will reduce competition between students at some higher-end schools. But rather than lessening competition, admissions processes will still be just as competitive as they've always been for all ranges of academia. However, the financial burden will be significantly lessened, allowing for our graduates to use their new earning power to benefit the economy or charities rather than paying back private lenders for decades. Student loans will continue to be a prevalent problem until we offer greater and more abundant scholarships. If we continue to inflate college costs without providing any way for students to pay these costs, student debt will get exponentially higher, causing more students to drop out or opt to not attend college at all, while unskilled positions that do not require a college education are disappearing every single year. College students will be saddled with debt for the rest of their lives, causing an inability to purchase homes, cars, and other crucial pieces of our economy. According to Vanessa Wong of CNBC, a college education could realistically cost over $500,000 in 18 years. Once we make scholarships more readily available for all students at the expense of the universities as opposed to private lenders, we could allow students to more freely attend college without worrying about the financial ramifications it might have for the future. And we can foster great minds within our economy, our society, and make for a better world. Student loans have become an economic crisis in the U.S., and this is partly due to rising college costs and lack of scholarship availability. We need to organize more scholarships throughout our community and encourage and pressure our universities and institutions to do the same. If we don't, student loan debt will continue to rise and become even more critical than it already is. If we do succeed in creating more scholarships for our students, we will all benefit economically and socially. The world needs to foster bright minds and ideas, and the best way to do that is post-secondary education. Thank you.